book. I'm Lyra Moon. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And for those who watch later, hi! Glad that you guys are watching. This is my lovely girlfriend, partner in crime, Lynx Vega, who's pretty great and pretty much awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, shucks. I want to talk about a little bit before we jump into the free readings today. What we did yesterday, and I'd love to hear from you guys what you guys did, even afterwards. Go ahead and comment, even if this is a replay. I'd love to know. We would love to know what you guys did, maybe on the full moon. Did you find yourself exploring new things? Did you guys go do anything fun and exciting? We, as we had the Sagittarius full moon on the 23rd, so for most of us, that's going to be yesterday. And we just had a day full of, wait, this show's the 24th, the day before, right? I'm thinking the day before. Are we the 25th? My gosh.
Today's the 24th.
Today's the 24th. Okay, right. Okay, good. Thought I was losing my marbles there for a minute. So, the 23rd.
Easy enough to do.
Right? When it comes to Sagittarius and the full moon, we have this propensity to want to go out and explore, and we're curious about our environment, and we want to go and learn new things. We're interested in adventuring. So I'd love to know if any of you guys out there found yourself learning really, really into a book, or something new, a hobby, or if you found yourself out on an adventure like we did. We found ourselves at, where the heck were we? We were at the Turtle Bay Exploration Park, and it was pretty cool. First off, we won tickets to go to the park, go to this exhibit that they had after the day's done with the park. Is your thing on?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's on. Yeah.
It's just sitting here awkwardly.
Sitting awkward. I know, right?
Yeah,
it's just like
around.
flipping out. Let's see about that.
That's better.
Okay.
It's just messing up my neckline. It's just
no.
looking so palm on film. And
Try it
so
sideways,
so
dear.
concerned.
Try it sideways. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
we were at Turtle Bay Exploration Park.
Yeah, and we had a pretty great time.
It was great.
I had a lot of fun. We went with my parents, and it was a good day. We spent time in the insect room, and that was... There are beetles out there, y'all, that are like sandwich-sized hoagie beetles. Okay, they're like
It's called
hoagie.
the Titan beetle, which is the largest
Titan
one.
beetle. Don't look it up if you're not into bugs.
Don't
But-
look it up unless you want that nightmare fuel in there.
Yeah, that's just gonna
We,
sit in the old noodle bank there.
Yeah, I would say it was
Hoagie.
maybe.
I mean, it. Oh, the things in the.
I appreciate people who want to study these
Yep,
things.
thank goodness
who
for them.
took the time, who will continue to take the time
Absolutely.
to make sure and like fight for their preservation because of the entire ecosystem and all the things that are good about bugs. Like, don't get me wrong. So I appreciate you guys because
I
that's
learned.
That's not
It's
something,
not something
I
that we
can
could do, right? Totally learned yesterday that 80% of all species of
All
animals
animals,
are bugs. That is amazing that people are out there going and learning that stuff. So those are some of the things that we learned. And then if you see, we posted some pictures. I'll have to post some more of what was it called? It was glow in the dark or glow something, right? Glowing Wild. Glowing Wild, which was the thing that we actually won the tickets for. And it was this really cool night exhibit of all of these, like, I don't know, how do you describe, I've never really seen anything like that. It reminded me, what I thought I was going to go and see was something kind of like the Electric Light Orchestra Parade at Disneyland from like the 90s. But it wasn't exactly that. So I thought we were going to go to this like thing that had all of these creatures that were lit up and made out of lights, but that wasn't exactly what I'd call it. What would you say?
They were like giant. They were giant metal framed, like really light metal, almost like going to like a parade. They were like, but there was fabric stretched over these metal
wire
frames that were and made them look like cute, cool, like characterized versions of different animals.
Mm-hmm.
So like there were pandas, and they're all light up for almost like those Christmas decorations that you
Yeah.
get that like the
Right.
inflatable ones almost.
Okay, yeah, that's a
would
good one.
be a similar thing to compare it to, except those inflatable ones don't have metal like skeletons
Yeah.
underneath.
Yeah.
So it's more of like it's an inflatable and it's like
Mhm.
poofy. But this is more like
Fabric
you were able to
stretched
stretch over.
specifically over
and
the
then-
parts to make it look as realistic. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
if you have the blow up ones, you have more of like the air pockets that
Yeah.
push out and don't fully define
yeah.
the image. They're more just like fat versions
And then
of
it's
whatever.
lit from the inside, so it's
Really cool. And so they found ways that people could interact with this kind of light energy wire mesh contraption thing, and they had like a tree that if you bang on the drums, it would change the light. It was the tree of life, so it showed both the tree
really
and branches
cool.
and everything on the top, and then the trunk, and then also the whole entire root system. So the whole thing would change colors depending on the drums that you would hit, as well as the beats, the speed too, in which that you would play the drum. So it was really cool. If you're ever up in Redding, California, give that one a check out, because it's definitely an experience. So we'd love to know if there's anyone that has explored, did anything fun, did you guys learn anything new, did anyone get lucky, anyone here won the lottery? Please let me know. I'm hoping to meet someone someday who has won the lottery. I want to know what their secret is, because I want to win the lottery.
Yeah, apparently it happens or something, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's like one in something, a lot of chance.
A lot of chance.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, so
So,
how are we doing?
I want to say hi to everybody in the room.
Alrighty.
So on, let's see, YouTube. There we go. I'm like, which can that one?
That one.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Crystal Pickett says, "Hey ladies, I'm new to your channel.
Hey, Crystal. Thanks
being
for
here."
joining.
She said, "Can I ask a question?"
Absolutely.
And then so yeah, that's what we're here for today. The other days that we've been normally what we've been doing is 2 days a week we've been talking about topics that are
relevant
relevant to you guys. Like what's going on? What are the energies that are flowing through us and flowing around about us
and
around,
strategies
going
of how to
through-
deal with it.
Yeah, and so that's been more of like kind of like a discussion, kind of like just talk sort of thing. And today, so far we're on Fridays. We're here to answer questions, and also if you have anything that you we always wanna know what you did this week, and if any of the things that we talked about earlier this week like popped up into your life, or if any of the tools that we were talking about were helpful to you. We would love to know those things. So yeah, that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
And then so Crystal asked her question, and I will get to your question. We'll grab you first, and I just want to check in on the other rooms real quick and say hi to everybody. Grace is here. She
Hey,
says,
Grace.
"Hey, ladies, hope you're well."
Oh wait, Grace, you're over there. Hi.
Oh
We moved the camera, didn't we?
No,
that's still
Grace is
Facebook.
there.
Hi, Grace.
She said no such luck with the lottery.
Ah, snap. One of these
Yeah.
days. One of these days, guys. One of these days.
And then Kat on TikTok, Catherine says.
Hey, Catherine.
She says, Kat does. She said, "Hi, how are you?" She's got a question. We'll grab her question. Oh, it's second.
Okay.
And then there's another.
Glad you're here, Kat.
And then there's another question there on TikTok. So we'll be working our way through the questions here, and I think that's our catching up.
Awesome. All right, so guys, before we go ahead and jump into readings, I just want to let you know of the theme. So if you're interested at all, you can jump into more of a thematic question, or you can ask whatever you want. Ultimately, it's up to you. But today's theme is communication and how it's been improved, I'd say, over the last couple of months since the solar eclipse, versus how it's been challenged. So if you have any communication questions, now is the time to ask them, because you'll get really great responses back from your guides, considering we're in Gemini season. Gemini is all about duality and communication, as well as jumping from thing to thing very easily. So you find that caught up in misunderstandings because you've already left the topic that you had originally started on, and you're now 15 topics in to a bunch of other things, and you have no idea how you got there. So you've got misunderstandings, miscommunications, and a desire to evolve. Um, you're also going to find, because Jupiter just entered into Gemini a few days ago, that you are going to want to expand in your spirituality, and you will find more peace the more that you dive into these types of practices, or whatever feels most comfortable to you, as far as tarot or meditation, or stepping into the spiritual realms in any sense of the way that you might find that you want to do. But you'll find that Jupiter has a sense of coming in, expanding all of these desires to learn everything and to expand our higher selves. So if you feel strange, or you feel a little crazy, if you feel like there's there's dualities, there's another voice in my head, it may just be your higher self coming through. It may be your higher self versus the brain that's always been yakking at you, telling you negative things to keep you in place. Now you've got two voices, and this one that feels really right, and this one that just barks at you. So it's an interesting time. So the theme is communication and how you can improve it. If you want to ask any questions about that specifically, go ahead. If not, we'll just jump into questions. Go ahead and throw your zodiac signs my way, and I'd love to know where everyone is from and how you guys are doing in general. I want to create this to be more of a community rather than just me throwing some cards at you and you taking off. We would love to get to know you guys, and you guys to get to know us. That's part of our mission in coming back and doing this again, is to build something more sustainable. So if you've got anything, throw it our way and we'll get started.
I'm just double checking because I just want to make sure we're good here. Because someone said no audio on YouTube. I think, and I just double checked on here. We're able to get some audio. So I think that's on your end. But thank you for letting us know. It's always good to know. Crystal said there's audio. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Crystal said, all right, what is your, Crystal said, I want to know, will me and Jay reconnect this year, and how does he feel about me? She's a Libra. What's Jay? What's Jay's zodiac?
I mean, we don't necessarily.
You
if you don't want to throw it, you don't have to. It's
Okay.
fine. Just I'm always curious to know the energies, more specifically.
She said he's a Scorpio.
Scorpio.
A Libra and Scorpio.
I know that energy all too well. That energy I know all too well. Libra, Scorpio. There is a bond there like no other. But at the same time, you got to be mindful. As long as that relationship, as long as both sides are completely balanced, it's a good dynamic. But if there's any sort of imbalance and manipulation, then it can go really crazy really quickly. So that one is one to just be aware of. You can have, gosh, I can't even tell you. You can have like the best time. You can have the most connected time, but it can get crazy very quickly. So this is for Crystal and Jay. Okay, let's see. What's up? Well, it definitely appears that way. It looks like there's a very strong chance for you to be reconnecting. Ace of Cups. It's kind of like, if you think about it, the two of you are pulled to one another for one reason or another. And because of that pulling, there is this energetic, need to be in that person's space, need to be in that person's, aura. And it certainly seems that the two of you have unfinished business, that there's more to say here, there's more to do here, there's more to draw upon, there's more connections to be made. I would also say he's been thinking about you, you've been thinking about him. There has been a kind of you guys have some sort of like deeper bond, and he can't really explain it. I would say you two are connected. It's almost like, what is that? Is it called a game? Is it a game? It's where you've got the two cans and the string attached to the middle of them, and you can hear, and you can talk into them, and it reverberates to the through the cord to the person who's holding the other can. That one.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
It's not really a game. It's just something that like kids
We
would
do.
do.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
As
So
a way
that
to
thing that we do
communicate
exactly.
from far distances.
Uh-huh. There it is.
Because
Yeah.
your voice travels down the string.
Mhm.
That's trippy.
Yeah. That is trippy.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you think about that cord, I would say that's kind of how the two of you are tied together. It's through this same cord that you both reverberate energy back and forth to each other almost telepathically, and you don't even realize it. Except for, I guess, now. You would probably realize it because I told you. But there is a strong pull here that you guys have a cord. The energy that you feel he may be sending to you and you don't know. And, the same in reverse. You may be getting his energy and you don't know. You may wake up thinking about him and you may have dreams about him. He has dreams about you. That's because you both are dreaming together about one another. So I definitely think that there is a lot still here, a lot still to grow on. Do you want to throw a card for advice?
She said, I figured he's been thinking about me like I've been thinking about him. So true.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, OMG, I do have dreams about him.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, those dreams are just going to intensify, honestly. Because, like I said, Jupiter just moved into Gemini and will be there until June of next year. And because of that, Jupiter likes to come in and give us really vivid dreams, really vivid epiphanies, awarenesses, aha moments, because it's an expansion planet. It's all about spirituality and spiritual growth and your higher self. So it comes in and it expands all those things. So right now, like, say if you have a loved one that you're trying to cross over with, now would be the time to talk to them on the other side. Now would be the time to connect to them. Now if you're trying to expand any of your spiritual powers or your spiritual gifts or whatever you want to call them, or just, getting a deeper sense of your spiritual nature in general, now is the time to meditate. Now is the time to, think about how you want to elevate and grow and evolve. Because Jupiter loves to do, loves everything. Jupy likes to jupe. Jupy is a big old.
So hard.
I love Jupiter. Jupiter and me. I love Jupiter. Jupiter and I, we go way back, and so do you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what advice do you have?
What the Hierophant reversed for
All right.
advice?
All right.
So I would say advice for this one, since I'm using the learning deck, so I'm learning on this one too. But I'm not new to using my intuition, and I'm not new to I've been reading cards on and off for a while now. I'm no expert, so I'm gonna go with this one, and then I want to know what you would think, what you want to say.
Okay.
But I would say for you, I think it's kind of cool, because it's referencing the cord. Also, by the way, Boring Finance and Computers said, when you were talking about dreams and stuff like that, he said, I do that with Libra, and I'm a Scorpio. Isn't that interesting?
That is super interesting.
I would say, like, the fact that you guys have that type of connection, like that, someone called, I think he said it's called cup phones.
Cup phones. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think, like, that in itself, so the Hierophant reversed is talking about, breaking some traditions and the lifting of, normal traditions. And so you guys have an unusual thing going on. Like, if things are weird, it's because of this very unusual connection.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unconventional. It's out of the norm.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's I think my piece of advice would be to, stick with it. If you still feel like it's worth fighting for, I would say stick with it, because, sometimes unconventional. Yeah, unconventional can be really, really cool.
I mean, look at me.
Really
Look at her.
amazing.
We're so unconventional, are we? We're
Indeed.
unconventional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So sometimes that totally works.
Yeah. So what would you say? What would be your advice?
My advice would be to follow what feels right. Sometimes sometimes society isn't going to tell us it feels right, and we have to decide that for ourselves. So when that
Mhm.
happens, it's just a moment of looking at, like, what are my values here, and what do I care about most? Maybe I'm worried about the social norms, but honestly, if this means I'm going to go towards being happy, then who cares? Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. Let's make this happen. Also, totally forgot to mention, we'll be giving away a 15-minute reading for free for one of you guys on one of these platforms. And we'll let you guys know who the winner is at the end of, well, after we're done with this session, we'll go ahead and post who's won. Ooh. Yeah,
exactly. How do
TikTok
we
makes
do
it
that?
challenging. I would just have to make an image of the winner's name, and then I'd have to post it. That's all I can think I could do. Have to post it on all three. So take a look. If you're on YouTube, check the community. If you're on TikTok, check my my upcoming videos on what I'll post after this. If you're on Facebook, just look for the post. So make sure you guys are all notified, hitting the notification and subscription bells. And we're going to pick one of you guys who's stuck around till the end. And we'll let you know at the end of the end.
When the ending
When
is.
the ending is.
Yes.
All right. And who's won that 15-minute reading. We did a reading for Danielle from YouTube last week, or this week, and it was a great reading. It was a great catching up with her. All right, guys, who are we doing next?
She said,
Thanks so much, honey.
she said, glad you both told me today the truth because I didn't know he was still thinking about me, lol.
Mm-hmm.
She said, thank you so much. I'm new to your channel, but I love both of your energy.
Oh,
Glad
thank
you're
you.
here.
Glad you're here.
Glad that you could hang out with us today. All right. Where are we going next? There's
We said TikTok.
Let's see that. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Tiki 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 boom.
Scott says yes. Break out of society's box.
Yes, absolutely. Scott is on Tiki. In the Tiki Tiki
No,
Tiki Tiki
on
Tiki.
Facebook.
Scott on Facebook. Yes, break out of the social norms, because the name of the game is how authentic am I really? Am I being my most authentic self, or am I trying to pretend because I think that's what society wants? At the end of the day, do I really give a flying hoot of what society thinks? You got to ask yourself these questions. So breaking free of societal norms means to decide what your most authentic self really is, because that's the goal, right? That's like what we're all chasing towards, and most of us don't even realize it. We're chasing towards that authenticity. It's at the end of the race, who can be the most authentic first.
Yep. Let's see. We'll grab Grace from Facebook.
Grace.
I would love to ask a question.
We didn't do TikTok?
Wasn't that what we just do?
We didn't do TikTok. We did
No, we
YouTube.
did YouTube.
Yeah, and then
Is
we
that
said
what
we
you're on
do TikTok.
Oh, TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll grab Grace after.
Yeah, we'll grab you after, Grace.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. Lynx got to slow down. She's going too fast. Lynx. Meerkat.
All right. By the way, your cool hat is in the shop.
Oh my
On
gosh.
TikTok. No, just leave it. It looks cool.
I was gonna show it.
Oh, okay. We'll
gonna
put it back right there. 'Cause it
Check
looks
out
kinda
my cool hat, guys, that I got
Cool
at the
sun visor.
sun visor at the Glowing Wild for way too much money, and I love it, and I'm glad I had it, because if I didn't, that would have been not good. Because I'm very light sensitive, my vision, so I'm very light sensitive, and that hat really helped. I've been noticing going out in sunlight, it's been a little bit too harsh for me, so I'm going to need to get to the eye doctor and see what the heck is going on.
Hey, anybody who's in TikTok right now, go ahead and put your question down there because
Weren't there a couple?
there were, but I think they're not in the room anymore. So anybody who's in the room here, let me know. Pop up one right now, and we'll grab the next one who pops up.
Gotcha.
I think that's the most challenging thing about TikTok is everybody pops in for a second, and then if you take 5-ish minutes to talk to somebody on another platform, by the time you get back over to them, they're like,
Yeah. Yeah, and I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I'd rather give you guys more of an in-depth answer.
Oh, totally. Oh,
You
I'm
know?
not. I'm
No.
not at all saying you shouldn't do that.
Oh,
I'm just
no, I
saying
know.
it makes it a little more challenging.
Yeah, no, I
Anybody on
totally get
TikTok?
it.
Hello. Anybody want to ask a question?
I'm just talking about, like,
Because,
how TikTok operates, though. It's just like,
Mhm.
you know, I would rather give you guys more in-depth reading than do, like, these more snappy, quick ones. Like, I've seen other readers do that, and I get that, but it's not really my thing. I'd rather give you the whole enchilada than just, like, a sad taco shell.
I like that. That's a great saying. See, now no one has responded on TikTok.
All right,
so,
TikTok,
so I don't
you
think
had your
anybody is-
chance.
Is anyone live in there?
No.
All right, let's grab
We've
Lynx
never
then.
really gone live and done anything on TikTok, so I'm not really surprised. It's gonna take a while before we get people to people proper on there. It's cool.
Proper enough, I suppose.
Proper enough.
All right, Grace said, I would love to ask a question, hon, out of curiosity. Will there be love for me down the track?
Of course. All right. All right, Grace.
I guess we could pull cards if we have to. I mean, I
mean-
don't think we really need to. for
I mean,
that.
Grace. I mean, let's talk about
I think
this.
you're already like well on your way, working your way through all of this enlightenment that you're working on, all of this like self-improvement, all of this spiritual growth. Like
Mhm.
those do all the things that you're doing right now. Oh, which what am I supposed to look at? Oh, there we go.
I did the same thing. I'm like,
All of the
anyway,
things that you're doing right now, which that you've like shared with us, and all of the things that I know that you're working on are already like those are all of the foundational things that you need to do to set yourself up to attract someone new, to attract somebody who will see the growth, who gets to then you both get to reap the benefit of it. So I would say in general, just like in a general rule of thumb is anytime that you really are looking forward to actually being with somebody after being heartbroken, the best thing to do is just work on yourself, and then all the opportunities come flowing in. It's like the law of reverse effort on that one. The more that people are looking for love and seeking it, usually that's when it becomes more elusive. But I think what you're doing right now is like opening up all of the doors for down the track.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so true. Because you're giving yourself what you need now. And what you need now is to allow for self-love to come in. And that's what's happening with all these different avenues of self-development that you're doing. All of these avenues allow for, like, it's almost like you're clearing out the arteries and allowing the heart to pump again. Eventually, the heart's going to pump again. And once that heart starts pumping again, will be probably after you're free of all the situations, after all that dust has settled, and you've also had time to heal within the new reality that you're in. You are likely going to find that it comes to you, just like Lynx said. It's something that comes to you instead of you going after it. Every time we chase, we don't find the thing that we're looking for. I don't know what that is.
And then we're just out of breath and smelly.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause we're
every
running
time.
around.
Yeah, and we're always pining after the experience that we see of others who have just had it come to them. Well, if you think about it, how many of those archetypes came from the position of that person wasn't looking? I would say more than not. More than
Mhm.
less. More
Mhm.
than less have. So if you think about it, like the best example I can think of just off the top of my head is like, what is that one called? It's My Big Fat Greek Wedding. She didn't necessarily, they ran into each other, right? But she was working on herself. She was working on improving herself, her appearance. She was working on her health. She was standing up to and becoming more assertive with her needs and her boundaries and what she wanted for her life. And smack dab does she run into this most incredible human being who she aligns herself with, and voila, they end up hitting it off. That's the kind of energy we're all chasing after, and we shoot.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay, don't look at my boobs, guys. Oh my gosh, sorry.
Oh no!
Oh no, I
what's
shut
happening?
it off.
Oh no!
I.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna read to you what Grace wrote back.
Okay, I
She
think I
wrote,
got it. There we go.
Okay. Oh no! It's totally like wonky now. All right, move it back to the left.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go.
Yay.
That works. Okay, so Grace said, you girls cracked me up. And this was at the very beginning when we started talking. She's like, but we want the right guy, don't we? And then she said, which is absolutely true. And I think, long term, he's on his way. He just hasn't poofed into your sphere yet.
Yeah. You're not ready for him. He's not ready for you. He's figuring his own mess out right now too.
And yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
As she said, I've been really burnt, and yeah, it's hard to come back from those ones, but it's doable. It's absolutely doable, and you're gonna feel so great on the other side. She said, that's what I'm doing, working on myself first, which is genius.
Yes.
And Scott said, show yourself the love you want, and the universe will manifest like a mirror for you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because you are a mirror of the things that you're sending out. Whatever you send out energetically, you get back. So I definitely think it's like my big fat quitting situation. It literally is. Think about it. Every single time we align ourselves and we're working on ourselves is when love comes in. It's always the right one. It's always what is needed. And that doesn't happen during the middle of figuring us out, figuring yourself out. So, yes, I absolutely see that you will have freedom to have someone not only that loves you and that you love, but this is like the person who you've been waiting to align yourself with. And so this is someone who is going to come into your life when you are ready to let go of all of the things. And when that time comes, because here's the first thing, you have to break the old bind of the last relationship, and that has to be settled. And then from that point, you're going to have freedom through healing in a big way, because you'll have finality over the whole thing.
That's what she said. She said earlier, she was like, that's confirmation, lol. And she said, yes, I've learned my lesson, and I'm closing that karmic cycle.
Yeah, so when you heal from that, and you've taken time to set into the new reality of whatever changes and whatever happens during the cutting of that cord, then at that point you'll find that the energy, it's just you healing very rapidly, rapid, and suddenly, and as you're doing that, your person who you're wanting and you're hoping for, you start manifesting them more. You start thinking more about their features, how they act, how they treat you, what they've gone through, and you start manifesting them because they're starting to manifest you. It's the same thing happening. So soon enough, that connection connects, and it comes down to, the simple reality of give yourself time, be patient with you. Don't go rushing into it, and don't go looking for it, because usually that's, at least in your case, especially, it's going to find you when it's meant to. Definitely will. It's just a matter of getting through and going to the end. Alrighty.
I was
Do you want to do one?
I want to go over to TikTok.
Okay.
Because it looks like there's a couple of people in the room. There's somebody named Jess who shared our live, and I wanted to get her question. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still going good. Well on. Okay, we're still doing well on TikTok. It's interesting. TikTok seems to have the hardest time out of all the platforms on the PC.
Interesting.
Because I'm watching everybody's comments.
Okay. See, there's comments going there. I see the thing moving.
But
it's not moving
on my
here.
Computer, it froze.
All right. Well, we're gonna be changing that once we fix Streamlabs today. So we won't have any of this nonsense happening anymore. All right. TikTok.
Jess said you're welcome, and she sent us a hug.
Thank you.
She said, all right. So her question is, will M come back to me?
All right. Let's see, Jess. Thanks for being here. Would love it if you followed so we can do this again for you next Friday. Hopefully it'll be Friday. Our schedule's a little bit weird right now, but we are trying to bring this back to you on a consistent basis moving forward. So Friday, but Sunday we'll announce our official schedule and we figure it out a little bit more. All right, Jess. Let's see about M. Dark in here. Is this one the 8? That's 8,
This
right?
is a dark deck too. Yep.
Yeah.
8 of Pentacles.
I might have you grab another, because it's a little too dark. I was having a hard time seeing the other one too.
Okay.
Okay, well, Jess, we have good news, right? We have good news, but we have difficult news. We have strained news. It does look like there is a propensity for the two of you in the future to work on the energies that have left you where you are right now, but there's a lot of resistance there. Thank you. That's a better one. There's a lot of resistance. You know, I would say from M's side, as far as the two of you resolving the issues, but there is still energy that shows that this is possible for you guys to kind of work on and fix. I would give yourself a leg up in this, and I would say it would be a good idea maybe this new moon on the 6th to do, you know, a spell candle of trying to clear, so do a road opener, trying to clear and open the communication that is strained right now, the communication that is kind of taxing. I would say that on both sides there are areas and things that you both need to work on in order to progress in this relationship. I feel that you have willingness. I feel there is some resistance on M's part. So, you know, I would see about, you know, also being mindful of how you manifest. If you're struggling and you're feeling more negative, or you're having a challenging time of just focusing on the positive aspects of what you're trying to create, which is, you know, creating this relationship to be more than what it is now, to allowing it to have more than what you're seeing, then it's really going to come down to focusing more on the positive aspects of what it is that you're trying to bring in, rather than dwelling on what went wrong. So if you find a solution for what went wrong, focus on that and start manifesting that more. The more that we write it out into the physical world, the more that we can create it in our physical space. And that's kind of the goal of what you're looking for. So I do see that it's possible. It's possible, but you're at a point where things are weird. So it's going to be up to you to kind of straighten things out, and be patient with the situation as well. Because there's just there's a need to kind of remember that you both are not perfect at expressing how you feel. There's a challenge, there's like a lock on your emotions to some degree. And so be patient with one another as you navigate the reconciliation moving forward. Okay?
That's what I was going to say too, is, so the Knight of Swords, Knight of Swords here is warning against impulsive or rash behavior. So for me, I'm not sure how you guys left it, but my guess would be, like, if there were real reasons that there's a separation, that you guys are not, like, really either talking, or you're not you're not together anymore, or whatever the case may be. Really think about what that reason was, and so that, you know, if and when some sort of reconciliation happens, that it isn't, you don't get lost in the moment of just being so wanting to be back together, or just so wanting to be, like, intertwined again, that you forgot the reason why it didn't work in the first place. So just make sure that, you know, when things do start to realign, that those things don't get forgotten. So don't rush into it.
Yep, absolutely.
That I think would be a good piece of advice.
Yeah, don't rush into it. Formulate a plan, come up with an idea, figure out how you want to communicate and how you what you need to say and how it needs to be said, how it can be said in the right way, because we're talking about the right way being like, is this the right setting, is this a good environment?
She says it was his way or the highway. It was that's a tough one. That's tough to it's challenging to be with people who decide that they are going to be, that they are gonna how do you
more
say
bullheaded.
it? Yeah, that are more like the emperor vibes, more like the emperor reversed vibes,
or the magician reversed.
That's more of
like a need to control the situation, and because they feel so out of control, because they don't have the same sense of stability in order to properly find compromise within communication.
She says he wanted me to quit my job, move in with him, and take care of me.
Well, that's a lot of things to just.
So maybe that's also too what the Knight of Swords is kind of warning of too, to really maybe take some time and really think about that one.
Yeah, I mean, especially because the concern is here that there's a jumping to, like, well, if you don't want these things, then we can have nothing. That's a pretty extreme reaction, I would say. So
she said, I'm more independent and would rather work as a team, not depend on a man.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with you.
Because you give up your power.
You give up your autonomy.
In a certain way. And even though it's romantic, like appearing, a lot of
but
people,
only to a certain degree.
A lot of people would say, oh, that's like, all you could ever ask for. But that's not necessarily
that's
always
not
the
living.
case. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, and I think if any time the option is live with me, I'll give you everything, and you can be like you'll be my wife, and everything will be roses, and you'll get everything you want, or I'm leaving you, then it's a pretty good judge of character to know that you could never do anything. You could never necessarily be, let me reframe that. He will never be wrong in your relationship, and you will always owe him. Like that's a very clear possibility if we're talking about it being such a degree of extremes.
She said exactly, and he had a lot of childhood trauma that was being brought up to the surface.
He doesn't. Okay, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there's been a lot of childhood trauma issues coming up, especially childhood emotional neglect. Now you'll notice this because you'll notice that there's like feelings that are locked away, or the person that you're with abruptly shuts down, doesn't know how to communicate, and this wall comes up.
She said, because I'm very family oriented, and he would get weird about me always being with them. So that's some leftover.
That would definitely be some CEN, childhood emotional neglect. I would look into it, check out the book Empty, and Running on Empty. It's really great, and it will help you get some perspective on who he is and what he's going through, because what will happen a lot of the time, especially because we just had this great reset, which is on April 8th, the solar eclipse that brought up all of this energy that we had repressed. Childhood emotional neglect means that you are having to look at your walls. And a lot of times, if you're freaking out and you don't know how to gain control over the situation, you're going to shut it all down. Well, it's me or nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. It's either everything or nothing. It's nothing in the middle, because there wasn't ever a lesson as a child to know what the middle is.
So he never had a woman do anything for him, and when I did, he got offended.
Yeah, that's some deep. I would say it's probably CEN, childhood emotional neglect.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors.
Psychiatrists or anything. It's just some things that we've been reading about lately that seem to be, I would say, like, a huge amount of us.
Are going to be experience that, are going to be understanding it, are going to be waking up to it and going, I should have more ability to access my emotions and my feelings than I do, and I don't, and I'm not able to. Why is that?
He never had a woman show him any nurturing or love in that aspect of taking care of him. So it feels really totally foreign. Yeah. And so he's like freaking out about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So I wouldn't see it as offense, but I would, if you're still interested in him, if you want to be with him, you're going to have to understand him from a different point of view. And I recommend that book. Again, Running on Empty. You can find it on Amazon. Check it out. See if it correlates with you. I'd love to know. We'd love to know if this is something that you connect with overall, after all. Let us know, because I think that we're going to find that more and more across the board, we're just going to start seeing folks that are suffering and don't know it. Okay, so you'll see the warning signs if you go and check out like all of the little meanings behind it, and it'll become pretty obvious, I would say, over this next summer, over this next season. We're going to see a lot of folks that suddenly shift and have no idea why and what they're doing, and it could possibly come down to a lot of this repression that they didn't realize they had coming up to the surface, and now they have to deal with it, and they have no conscious clue how to deal with it, except to have extreme control issues to lock it back all down, because that's what feels safe. That's what was safe. That was what we were taught. That's what we know. So if you think about it, that's probably something that we're going to see more and more, because all that is no longer repressed. It's up. It's out there. It's to look at. So, all right. Thank you so much, Jess. I hope that was helpful. And we'd love to see you back again. So let's go ahead and who's next?
All right. Let me just thank you for being here. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for sharing. Just the last thing she said she's definitely gonna look into it. And she said this. She made a laughing emoji after she says this next part, because I'm laughing too, because I definitely know how that feels. Is questioning whether or not you're choosing the right people. She said 2 years of celibacy and healing myself, and I let this man back in. She did a laughy face. She said, I want my person back. So it's like, yeah, that's a tough position to be in, but I totally know how that feeling is, where you're like, you think you're all awesome, and you're like, I did some healing. I've been like focusing on other things in my life, and then you're just like, I'm ready, and then you're like, and then somehow, sometimes cosmically, someone will get dropped into your lap, and then you're like, this is not necessarily what I prepared for.
Yeah, I thought I was ready, but oh my gosh, was I really ready? Or like, am I so screwed?
And then bam, another lesson. Yeah, but it's
yeah.
Like, wait, I thought I was done leveling up.
No,
I guess
no.
No.
I think the funniest thing I ever heard from someone was that she was like a 60-year-old or something, and she's like, I've learned all the lessons that I'm ever gonna learn. I'm done learning.
She's like, I'm done learning now.
And I'm like,
there's nothing else for me to learn.
Oh, sweet thing, you are just begging for it, for the biggest lesson of your life. Oh, honey dearest.
I don't think I'd ever have the balls to say something
my God,
so bold.
no.
I think that's just asking to get taught more.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, guys, want to just remind you, we will be giving a 15-minute reading away. If you are interested, just stay logged in, tuned in till the end, and we'll pick someone and announce it on all platforms. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and don't miss out on the possibilities.
Let's see what's going on here.
Alright guys, if you have questions, throw them in. If you want a free reading, throw it in. If you want to know about your communication style, throw it in. Let's talk about it.
Julie Dunn says, hi ladies.
Hey Julie.
How are you doing?
Hope you're doing well.
She's on YouTube.
On YouTube. Hey Julie.
She says, she says, nice of you two to be doing these readings. We're happy to be back.
Absolutely.
It's nice to be back. It's nice to give back. It's nice to connect with you guys. We I know that you weren't here at the very beginning of the show, but one of the things that we were saying was just that we want to be talking to you guys. We want to know. We want to be trying to give you advice during the week, kind of give you some insight, and then we want to know what's going on with you. We want to be your buddy. We want to
make it feel like when you guys are talking to us, you guys are actually really talking to us. I think that's the one thing I wish that more lives did, more content could do, is to give you a real sense that you're actually talking to someone who gives a crap, and that's where we're coming from. So I'm glad that you guys are all here, And, you know, I want to make this as much of a community as possible. So feel free to talk to one another if you guys feel comfortable with that. Feel free to, you know, embrace in this community because we really do want to make it into something real. So on Mondays, we're going to be bringing you astrological forecasts. My gosh, that is not it. That is the name. You called it.
I called it that once, just calling it that because I thought that that's what you had called it, and so I said that out loud
one
once,
time,
and now it's
like stuck in there. It's not necessarily that. I'm not an astrologer, but I am definitely learning a shiz ton of astrology to become an astrologer. But yeah, at this point, it is an astrology enthusiast. I would say at this point, I am bringing you elemental, emotional forecast readings, emotional weather forecast readings. We gotta change the name. It's too much.
Some astrology kind of sprinkled in.
Yeah, if there's any astrology to talk about.
But it's not like these are the astrological things that are happening and why and how. It's more like sprinkled in there. But,
yeah, so it's giving you the energies of what's happening throughout your week, and that's going to happen on Mondays. Then Wednesdays, we talk about strategies for how to cope and deal with it based on whatever the elemental card was. And then Fridays, we'll be doing free readings for you guys. So this is just about as much fun as it is for us as it is for you guys because we get to give back. And anytime you're of service to other people, you're elevating yourself, you're rising up, you're changing your frequency. And that's what I want to see more of. I want to see more of us be able to find the stones to stand up and be there for their fellow person. Sick of all the hatred online. Want to make something that actually matters, you know? So I'm glad you guys are here. And please make sure to follow. Please make sure to hang around. Please make sure to talk. We'd love to know what you're going through, what's up with you. And, you know, build on something really fantastic.
Let's grab Gina from YouTube. And I can see that there's a couple more questions on YouTube from Amber and from Julie.
All right, guys.
And it looks like there's one question on Facebook and a couple coming in from TikTok. So we're just going to make our way through here.
All right, guys. We are going to try to get to everyone. So if you stay in the room, we will try to get to you. So please make sure to hang around. I tend to do longer readings because I want to give you guys a genuine, like, full-rounded answer. So if that's your thing, stick around. If you're looking for something short, you're just not going to get it from me. I don't know how to do short. I'm a Libra. Libras like to talk, and that is my thing. Okay, all right, let's go. Gina.
Gina says, how does R feel about me friendship-wise, and should I go to this party tomorrow?
Party. Gina, going to a party tomorrow. That's so fun. I'm excited for because that's Sagittarius full moon energy. Yeah, the 23rd makes us want to go and explore and go and do and have fun. Yeah, Gina going to a party. All right, Gina. Gina. Gina, go get it. Go get it. All right, we got the King of Pentacles. So, I mean, honey, just know yourself. You already know yourself. You are so balanced within the knowingness of you. So go, have fun, and enjoy. It's a question of what R feels?
Yes.
What R feels. Okay, well.
How does he feel about me friendship-wise?
Friendship-wise, you ground him. You stabilize him. You help him feel secure. You give him a sense of comfort. You give him extreme compassion, and there is loyalty here. There is trust. There is, abundance of care. And I definitely think that you should go to this party. I don't think that there's anything that you need to be concerned about or worried about or hold yourself back from. It's like you fulfill his emotional cup, and he fills yours. If you think about what it feels like to be with him, there's a sense of real connection and being able to communicate with someone who completely gets you, who totally understands you, who gives you good vibes, who makes you laugh, you almost feel better. You feel like revitalized after you've spent time with him. Those are really strong energies that you can't ignore. So I think this is a great start. Could be something more later. Who knows? But for now, you guys have a fantastic friendship, and you should go. Let go of whatever is holding you back. Let go of whatever is holding you down, and because here's the thing.
She said, I feel like he doesn't like me.
Oh my. No. Okay, well then talk to him about this. Talk to him about how you feel. What is it that what is like blocking the communication? Why do you think that he feels that way? I see someone who deeply cares for you. Maybe he doesn't know how to express it very well, but there is a very strong connection here. I would say if you have any sort of concerns, I would talk to him about it. Be like, hey, I just need to like double check. Like, how are you feeling? You know, sometimes having a check in with a person can be the thing that changes the whole dynamic of going, so how do you really feel? You know, how are you feeling about this friendship? You know, is there anything we need to change? Is there anything we need to talk about? Sometimes just opening the door for communication opens everything else up. It gives you the opportunity to talk about it finally and not hold on to any resentment or any weirdness. But I genuinely don't think that there's anything bigger to worry about here. I see someone who is invested, fully invested, deeply invested in what this friendship means. So I don't see anything to worry about. All right, who are we doing next? We'll start moving through them a little quicker.
Yeah, next we've got.
And thank you so much, my dear. I hope that was helpful for you, Gina. Thank you, appreciate it. Don't forget to follow and try to stick through to the end. We're going to be doing those free readings.
So she said it's his girlfriend's birthday. I mean, fiance.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, snap. Well, we'll have to talk more, Gina. Stick around. Let's know what's up with you.
Let's grab Julie.
All right, Julie.
Says, I have a job now in training a little bit better. And she said thanks was just wooing. She said, I was just wondering if this job at the country club is going to last for me.
Ah. Is that, with the last name M?
No, actually.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was for a second. Her little, like, her photo looks similar.
It's so funny. I know another Julie who's, like, literally asking the same question yesterday. Who,
I thought it was her, too, for a second.
Okay, so you Julies, I wonder if you guys are all doing the same thing right now. Getting jobs at country clubs. I wonder if we polled all Julies, what they'd be doing right now. See how many of them are actually like, that's just crazy. Okay, all right, I'm trying to.
Oh, she said it is me.
Oh, okay.
Confusing us with your different names on different platforms.
Julie,
I'm like,
goodness.
That tiny little picture looks exactly like her. I'm like,
all right.
She said done is my ex-married name. Okay. So we're not crazy.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's to be decided.
Determined.
Yeah. All right. So, are we getting the job at the country club?
No. She said if it's gonna last.
Ah, if it's gonna last. Let's hope so. So we have some more balance going on, girl. So you have some more stability. You've been like killing this rocky transition that you've been going through, like a boss. So I want you to know that. I know you've been burning a lot of them candles. Yeah, I think it will absolutely last. Look at that. Ace of Wands. We have lasting results here. The thing is, I definitely see this as a new beginning. This is a new beginning. This is a fresh start. But here's the thing. There is a chance of getting a little bit of you personally losing motivation or kind of burning yourself out. So just be mindful of that, but I definitely think that this is a fresh start and a new beginning to something long term that's going to last long term. Level you up in some way. So treat this specific position a little bit differently. I would look at it more as something that is going to be long term. Don't think in the short term brain. Think about this more as what opportunities are going to come my way. Think about how you want to advance here and what you want to do to advance in order to see yourself grow even further. So look at those, kind of focus on those aspects of what you want to do in this area and, start aligning yourself further and further with that path. So you have a plan in place of where you're going and how you're going to get there. All right, thank you so much, Julie. I'm glad we solved the mystery of the Julies.
Right?
That was almost crazy.
Right?
All right, who are we going for next?
Let's see. We're gonna go over to TikTok real
Don't look
quick.
at my feet. They are feet.
And because TikTok is such a an ever-changing platform, I'm just gonna start grabbing the people who pop up towards immediately on TikTok.
Okay.
Because then I know that they're in the room.
All right.
So we're not talking to somebody who's no longer in the room.
If you're still in the room and you still want a reading, go ahead and just let us know in the comments, because TikTok doesn't, as we're streaming it, it doesn't really show up super great on the computer. So, you can just honestly spam it if you need to.
Yeah, it's coming in at a decent enough pace that I'm just going to grab who's there.
Okay.
So we're going to grab Melissa the Great.
Ooh, Melissa the Great. I love it.
That. She said, "Will Benjamin fall in love with me?"
Ooh. Melissa. Thanks for being here, hun. Glad you're here today. Hope you're doing well. Shucks.
Wow.
That's like a literal yes. You have any idea how many times I wish I got a literal yes from the tarot? Your spirit guides are like, yes, honey, yes, absolutely. There is a connection. This is marriage. This is the whole thing, the engagement, all of the babies, all of the babies. This is all the joy and all the celebration. I mean, it's absolutely there for you. It's just a matter of patience. And don't rush it. Don't rush it, because here's the thing. You guys are already going to get to the finish line, right? So if you know that, then you can enjoy the moment. Be in the moment. Don't start rushing to the finish line, because once you're there, you're going to be like, damn it, I wish I had slowed down sooner. I wish I had, done the courting thing a little bit more. I wish that I had put more time into the, before we have kids part. I wish I had done. And that's going to be the ongoing thing. So slow down. This is a yes from the universe. Go towards him. He will be coming towards you, but take it slow. There's no need to rush. All the things that you want are going to happen, but you might as well enjoy those things happening slowly, like peeling an onion slowly. I mean, that's not really enjoyable, but it's the same principle.
It is if it's a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse. Go ahead and sponsor this reading.
Please sponsor this. Sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Your soul is like a bloomin' onion. Trademark.
Yes. All right, bloomin' onion. Okay, that's my advice. Oh shit, I mixed up the cards.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, definitely a great connection is all I feel.
She said you're awesome. I love you.
Love you too. Glad you're here. All right.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's see what else we got here on TikTok. I want to grab K Bruce 12.
Alrighty. You can always chime in too if you want to do any other readings.
Oh, I will. But I think you're just killing it right now.
Oh, well, shucks.
It's not letting me scroll up, but I remember her question, and it's for K Bruce 12.
Okay, K Bruce.
And she said, off the top of my memory, I think she said it was will the man that I've been with for the past 2 years marry me?
All right. Wow, that energy completely changed. As soon as you said it, it went from here to here. Like, completely changed in frequency. So much frustration, so much shaking our heads going, I'm trying, why aren't you? Where are we going? Lots of questions.
What is going on there?
Yeah, I told you, I put one card in weird. Let me go ahead and reshuffle, because that was... I thought I did that. It was K Bruce? Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's indecision. There is and uncertainty, I would say, about the choices and the path ahead. There's some just not knowing. I would say because of this, because you have not knowing, because you have uncertainty, and because you have, a fork in the road and a decision that hasn't been made, it's going to be a really good time to, again, this is all about communication, guys. If you are in a specific situation where you are challenged or struggling to find the things that need to be said, it's going to come down to figuring out what is most important to you first. What are your values here? What do you need in this relationship? What hasn't happened? What would you like to see happen? What are the solutions? Because we can't just look at one side. We have to look at both sides. How can we solve for X? And what can we do to rock at X once we've solved it? Shoot, it did the thing. It did the thing.
Oh no! What?
How do I?
Oh no! And that's on TikTok too.
Dang it.
I think you can only go on for an hour on TikTok, I think.
No,
Oh,
remember,
it says,
you have to...
This is verified to continue. I have to slide a puzzle into the piece.
Oh my
Weird.
gosh.
It's like a CAPTCHA, I think?
Yeah.
Oh, there
okay,
you go.
okay, we're still
All right,
on.
cool.
Sorry about that. We don't write on there. Who does that?
That's
So
weird.
weird.
Very weird.
Gosh, then it makes me lose my funky flow.
Oh, funky
Okay,
flow is
funky flow.
flowing.
Yeah, so funky. Okay, so when it comes to figuring out what was I saying? Shoot, I was so in the flow mode.
I know.
Oh, butts.
Oh, it was it was going back to Kay Bruce about, this person who she's been with for 2 years.
The conversation.
About
Yes.
about
Okay.
what's going on there.
Yep. Needing to figure out what your values are so that you can find a way to talk about them. What matters most to you in this relationship? What do you want from it? What do you need from it? What are you not getting? What could you be getting? What would you like to see happen from this relationship? And find the right time to say all this. And honestly, if you struggle, because I know a lot of Geminis, if you're a Gemini, I don't know. But a lot of Geminis right now are struggling with this. If you find that you are maybe not a Gemini, or just if you're struggling with communication in general, it's going to be a really great idea to maybe write some of these things out of what you want to say, and let your partner know of, hey, I need to talk to you, later today when you get home, or if you find that a warning would help, or if it would be best just to, set aside time and talk to them. Something just popped up.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Oh,
What
it
is
says
that?
it's a collab thing to invite someone. We still need to figure out how that works.
Okay. All right. We just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, we haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. So it's going to be really helpful for you to figure out what needs to be said and have a conversation with him. Because if you're wanting more from this relationship, then sometimes it's beneficial to express what you're wanting and what you're hoping for, and find out what their goals are and what they're hoping for, so that you both can get on the same page. And if that is a struggle, or it scares you, or that's something that worries you, or you're just not sure of it, it's also helpful to do like a weekly check-in. Just start talking to your partner every week. Like, how are you doing? What were your struggles of this week? How could we find solutions of those struggles together? So that both of you are on the same page as far as self-improvement goes, and you're both moving towards a direction that makes you happiest. All right, so communication. And I definitely see emotional balance here. Emotional management is what's going to help you best. The more that you access your feelings and emotions and are coming from the heart, the more it will be better received. Okay, my dear? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, because we definitely want to see you guys all back here next Monday when we go live again.
All right. Next we're gonna grab Melissa Marie. And
Okay.
Then, Melissa, go ahead and I told her that she was next. Go ahead and write down go ahead and throw your question down in here, because what I'm finding is on the PC here, it doesn't let me scroll up. So I think for TikTok, I might need to start writing questions down, because I was going to.
Sorry, TikTok. Yeah, we're not completely new, or no, we are. That's my whole point. We're newer to going live on TikTok than we are on YouTube and Facebook, so you guys will have to forgive us. You may just need to keep cycling your comment. That's all I can think to do for today. We'll work on it for the next live, so you guys won't have to keep doing that. We really appreciate it, though.
Actually, for now, I'm just gonna start, copy pasting people's questions and make a little
Oh
list.
my
That
God,
way I don't
you're
have to
so
worry
smart.
about it. So, Melissa is gonna be next, and then after that is gonna be Keisha on TikTok here, and then we're gonna switch over to the other platform and see what's going on there.
Okay.
Is Melissa said, will Juan call me back tonight or soon?
Okay, Melissa, thank you for being here. Glad you're with us today, and I hope you're having a good day. Let's see, Melissa is asking for whom? What was it, Juan? If Juan will...
Yes.
Okay. If Juan will reach out to her soon. Alright, let's see what's going on with you. Yes. Absolutely. Emotional fulfillment. Yeah, so this is calling out. This is you guys have something special. You guys have a strong connection. You guys have, the beginning sparks, the Ace of Cups. This is emotional fulfillment. So even if sometimes he doesn't necessarily always get you and you may not necessarily always get him, there is this strong connection that brings you both together, and it allows for you guys to both feel emotionally fulfilled in one way or another. So I definitely think he's going to be reaching out to you. How can he not? I mean, you guys have a really good thing, whatever that is. So be patient, allow it to unfold, and, go with what feels good. Because right now, you're definitely going to see more and more. There's a thing on the bar. The bar? Is that a thing? What is that?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. So
can't see it from
can't
here.
see it
Too
from
far.
here. All right.
Don't worry
Sorry.
about it.
Yeah. So emotional fulfillment, strength coming your way, and definitely gonna hear from him soon. Just enjoy these moments. Enjoy these moments of wondering what he's thinking about, and as you're thinking about him, and kind of be in that type of energy, and don't really focus too heavily on what hasn't happened yet. Just be excited for what has. All right, thank you so much, Melissa.
All right, and then next we're gonna get Keisha, and then I wanted to ask you about how you're feeling about this question. So she's got a two-part. She said,
Keisha does?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about pregnancy questions? Her question is, am I pregnant? And it's, will Nathan and I be together? How are you feeling about those types of questions?
I would say, just so you guys know in the future, it's the weirdest thing, but I would say that tarot, specifically guides, your spirit guides, have a affinity to not want to answer questions about pregnancy, or like if you're pregnant or am I pregnant, that is always such an elusive answer. And so is like if you have a loved one that's going to cross over, like when will they cross over? So I would say that like life and death questions are the most scattered in tarot that I've ever seen. So just be aware of that. I'll go ahead and answer that for you today, but I'm letting you know that oftentimes your guides don't really want to answer this question. I would say that it gets answered correctly probably like 2 out of 10 times, and I don't know why. But that's just one of those questions that's weird. I don't know. I've known that other readers have had that same kind of experience. So I'm not really sure what to make of it, other than your guides don't want you to know about that. I don't know why. But let's go ahead and see. Let's see what it is. It's am I preggers and something about a something.
And Nathan.
Nathan.
She wants to know if she and Nathan will be together.
Okay, well, I'm picking up a stronger signal than usual. I would say that there is a good chance that you are pregnant. Again, I am not a doctor, and I am also iffy about this question, so please make sure to not use tarot as the source of your basing your opinions and such on, but I do think that you probably are pregnant, and that you and Nathan have a strong connection right now. I would be mindful because there is a chance of being emotionally giving, but at the same time not fully knowing what to do with it or where to go. So, my suggestion to you is once this relationship starts to turn into something, you might want to start talking to him about, or turn into something more, rather. That you might want to start talking to him about how you feel about your, what your goals are, what you guys want from this relationship, what your hopes are. You talk about those things kind of on like a weekly or monthly basis so you guys are keeping up good communication because there is a tendency here to be a little bit flighty, okay? Or, afraid of commitment. And that's why it's going to be a good thing to establish a form of strength in your communication moving forward, especially if he's I think he is, the dad. So I do see strong connection here, strong flirtatious energy. We need to build on this. There is a need to kind of figure out more of what you guys are, here for, more of what you guys want from this relationship. What is the more part? And figure that out together from a curious, perspective rather than, a fearful one. We don't have to have fear. Nothing about fear. It's more just like, what are you thinking about? Or have you been wanting to be in a more committed situation, or are you like focused more on like a chill situation? Like where are we going with this? And you make it available for the two of you to talk openly, and you'll find that the connection gets stronger and stronger. All right. Thank you so much, Keisha. I hope that was helpful for you. Please make sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. We're going to try to get to as many questions as we can. But we will be coming back to you guys live on Monday. We'll be doing an elemental emotional forecast reading to give you guys an update on how to prepare for your week ahead. And then Wednesday coming back to you with strategies on just what to do with all that energy. And Friday bringing you more free readings. So make sure to subscribe. We'd love to talk to you and love to bring you guys into our community.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going?
Let's go over to the last handful of comments that are up here on Facebook.
All right, facing the book. Let's do that. You can't help it. You think I'm cute.
Indeed. All right. We'll grab a few of the last few ones here. And I wanted to read to you.
Look at my feet.
Keisha wrote, my heart stopped when you looked down, OMG, laughing face. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And congrats.
And then she said, please save this live.
How do I even do that? I don't know how to do that on TikTok.
Yeah, how do we do that?
If you can't find it on TikTok, go on to YouTube. You can get it on YouTube. It's
Facebook.
And
It'll
Facebook.
Be posted there too.
Tarot with Lyra Moon. You'll find me. And this live will get posted on YouTube after it uploads. So we post them every time, and then we unlock them so you guys can see them. And then same with Facebook. That it'll post right after it's.
And then is there a way to do that on TikTok?
Yeah, because we would love to do that on TikTok. No idea.
That wasn't saved.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Goals.
Learning goals.
All right.
Learning goals.
Yes. We're going back over to Facebook.
Book of Face.
Latosha Allen said, "Good evening, ladies."
Good evening.
We're gonna grab Brent and Hannah and Latosha.
All right, Brent.
Or is it Latasha? Probably Latasha. It's Tosha. I like it. Latasha.
Tasha. That's pretty cool.
I like
it.
Brent Luna said, "Good evening or good morning."
Good morning.
I would like to know my love life. So love card for Brent.
All right, Brent. Let's see what's going on with you, honey bear. And thank you for being here. Hope you're having a good morning wherever you are.
Yeah, if it's morning, that means.
It's morning. What? Are you like in New Zealand?
Or I was gonna say like
Australia
or something. we know that from one of our other Australian friends.
I'd love to know where you guys are all from while we're pulling cards intermittently. Go ahead and throw it down. And throw up some emojis. Give us some reactions. How are you guys all feeling out there? Love to know that too. All right, Brent. Let's see what's going on. All right, Brent. So we have the Nine of Wands. Look at this card. You can feel this card more than you can more than you'd like right now. And currently, right now, you are definitely in a place of emotional healing and dumping, purging and healing, purging and healing. And it's intense right now. This is intensity. It's been hard. It's been really challenging. I would say, are we pulling it for love for future, or is he in a relationship? What was the question?
He said, please, I want to know my love life.
Okay, so currently, love life is struggling because there is a sense of having to persevere, having to push through, having to really fight for maybe our own breath of air. There's something that we aren't allowing to be released or to be let go of. There's a sense of just feeling really, really stuck, but also really hopeful that things are going to move forward, really hopeful that things are going to get better. Okay, because as much as it's been challenging, as much as it's been wounding, as much as it hasn't happened, this is also the card to show that you should keep going. No matter what, you should keep going. Don't stop yourself. Don't allow yourself to slow down. Keep moving forward. Even if it feels really impossible. Find every single time that we find that it is so impossible that we just cannot possibly do anymore, we can't go forward. The last place that we need to look, that we forgot to look, is like, oh, right, we could just learn. We learn new skills of how to move forward. We learn of how to stand up and be strong and change our perspectives. We decide to learn something new. There may be a new skill that you can learn. There may be a new way to communicate, a better form of communication, because right now things are strained. Things are challenging. Things are not exactly where we want them to be. So the only way forward is to learn new skills. Have a different understanding, maybe on the other person, maybe about yourself. It depends on what your exact situation is. But this has everything to do with deciding to keep going because it feels worth it. If it feels good, go towards it. If it doesn't feel good, let it go. Let it go. Allow yourself to feel into those body signals and trust in your inner voice. Trust in your inner guidance system. If it doesn't feel right, if you're getting a tug in the navel that says, anxiety alert, don't go in this direction. This seems inky, don't you think? Don't go in that direction. Follow your heart, which is like joy and happiness. Yay, I'm going in this direction because it feels good. Go that way. Mr. Hinky doesn't want to help you. Thank you so much for being here, friends. I hope that was helpful. All right, what have we got?
All right, we're gonna grab. We're gonna do Hannah, and then we're gonna do Latasha. She said yes, Latasha, that's spelled L-A-T. So she said yes, it's a Latasha, but like pronounced Latasha, spelled T-O-S-H-A.
Yep.
LOL. She said I'm from Michigan.
Hey, Michigan.
That's a cool way to spell it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna grab Hannah, then we're gonna grab Latasha, and then Anna Smith sent us 50 stars.
Ooh, thank you.
Wait, which camera?
That one.
Thank you for sending stars.
Thank you.
Really
I appreciate it.
She said she's said good evening. She's interested in a reading, and then I asked her if she had a specific question. So you've got a little bit of time, and we're gonna do these other cards, and then we'll get over to you, Anna.
Sounds good.
Hannah said, if you feel a connection to me, I would absolutely love a reading. So you want to just do a general for Hannah?
Sure. Hannah, thanks for being here. Glad you're with us today and hope you're having a good day. The day after the full moon in Sagittarius. I love it. Did you see that picture that I posted of the Sagittarius full moon? It was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was really neat. It's on Facebook if you haven't gotten a chance to see it. It shows you what you should be manifesting, what you can be working on, and how you can help yourself kind of navigate through these more strenuous energies that are a little bit more difficult in helping or stopping, hindering, or helping you in communication. Okay, let's see. Hannah, general. General for Hannah. Ooh, too many cards coming out. Okay, Hannah, you are currently in a really strong place of balance. There is a sense of connection to yourself and to all things, but we have to remember to trust in ourselves and to not hold on to the coin too much, too tight, and then we lose sight of other people, of other things, of what's most important. So there is a strong pull to keep going in the direction that you're going, but just maintain, right? And if you're starting to feel uncertain, remember, introspection is going to be your best friend. It's all about grounding yourself, trusting yourself, and making sure that the energy that you are receiving is being adequately and appropriately placed back into other people and situations so you aren't starving any energy out of any place that you have it in. Okay? All right, that's going to be a quick and dirty general for Hannah.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you, Hannah. I hope that was helpful for you.
And then next up, we're going to take Latasha.
All right.
Latasha. What was her question? Let's see if I can scroll. Did she have one or did she just, let me find it. She said she's interested in a reading. So you want to pull a general for Latasha real quick?
And then let's do 3 more readings.
Okay.
Across the board.
All right. So we'll do Anna, because she gave us some cool stars, and then I want to head over to YouTube because there's one person who's been here in the room on YouTube. Their name is Manur, and so they have had a question for a while. So we're gonna grab them next, and then probably one more after that.
Okay, and then we'll check out TikTok. We'll do one on each platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So you said Latasha and General. Got it.
Indeed.
All right, Latasha. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope Michigan's treating you well. Let's see what's going on. General. Interesting. All right. So we have the Lovers. This is a big one for you. It is all about your spiritual awakening, and whether or not you're ready for it, it's happening. Now is the time to align yourself with what is most important. If it feels good, go towards it. If it feels like crap, go in the other direction. That is your biggest call to action right now. Is how authentic am I being to myself? Am I really happy with what's going on, or could this stand for some changes? So it's about figuring out what your path is, what makes you happiest, what's going to bring you joy in the future, and what is sustainable. This is sustainable fulfillment. This is not just going towards something that is half-baked. This also is about having a true connection with another person, a true romantic connection that is real, that is genuine. So we need to unlock ourselves from fear. We need to go towards what feels best. And we need to embrace whatever comes. Because you've got a whole lot of energy astrologically right now to help you out and help you to connect to your higher self. So the more that you dive in and have introspection over what you're capable of growing and how you're capable of growing, the more that everything around you and other parts of your life are going to start to find balance. So really, you're going to find that the more that you dive into yourself, the more that you unlock what is most important. And the more that you unlock what is most important, the more you get closer and closer to feeling this sense of emotional fulfillment. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you joined us today. And I hope that reading was helpful for you.
And then we got
Anna.
Anna. Anna says, I would like to know if me and my ex are going to rekindle our relationship.
All right, let's check it out. And that is still on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Facebook. Thank you so much, Anna. And don't forget, guys, if you stay to the end, we will be giving away a free 15-minute reading, and we'll announce it at the end of... I keep saying that. We'll announce it at the end of this reading. So once we are done with the session, we'll go ahead and post it on each of the platforms. Who the winner is. Which we randomly select. We don't have any favorites. I mean, I like you all, but, you know, gotta be fair. Alright. Anna was, sorry, I forgot the question.
She wants to know if she and her ex are going to rekindle their relationship.
Okay. All right, Anna. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sending stars. Really appreciate that. So we have temperance, we have this balance, we have this harmonious energy, we have a state of flow. I would say that there is a strong chance that you guys reconnect. I think that there is still a pull in coming back to connect, but I'm not necessarily feeling that it will be to reconcile. I think it's more to, gosh, what is it called? It's like gosh, what is it called? It's like looking over the relationship and how it came together and then how it broke apart. So it's like a moratorium almost. It's not a moratorium. It's I can't remember the name. I can't remember the word. But it's giving you the chance to look at all of the pieces of the relationship and how it got left the way that it did, and you know what you both can work on in future relationships. I see it more as being an opportunity for growth rather than you guys reconciling, unfortunately. In order to get back with one another. I think you guys have kind of come together and kind of come apart as well for very specific and important reasons. So if you're holding on to any heartache or any pain from that, I really think the best thing you can do is let yourself feel it. Let yourself feel it so that you can work through it. Because anytime you have heartache and you run from it, and you run from it and you run from it, eventually it's going to catch up. Eventually you're going to feel it. Even if you choose not to feel it in this lifetime, you're going to reincarnate again. You're going to feel it again. It's going to come back. And you're going to have to then deal with residual life pain. So it's about taking the time to just experience what you may not necessarily want to experience in order to feel better overall about your situation. And allow for forgiveness and healing and growth. So I am truly sorry that it couldn't be better news, but I think that it's also a lesson and an opportunity for growth, and those are always just as important as the ones that, that also come with a new shiny coin. This one does too, but it's a one that more stems from, challenge and pain. So I'm with you, I feel you, and if you need any additional help, you can always reach out for a private session. I'd be happy to help you out through it. Okay, thank you, Anna.
And then I wanted to grab, there were 2 people on YouTube who've been here for like almost like the entire time, so I wanted to grab, they're still in the room.
Sure.
I wanted to grab them.
Yeah.
And then we want to grab one person on TikTok too. And I've got her written down here, and then that will be it for tonight. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so we've got for her name, their name is Manur Riaz Gadar, and the question is, how does Habib feel about our conversation?
Okay, I'm gonna use your can you say that first name again?
It's spelled Mahnoor.
Okay. And how does?
And it's Habib. How does Habib feel about our conversation?
Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I'm visually impaired and I can't really see the screen, and it's really hard to memorize a person's name. So I am gonna call you M, and the first name of the other person is H.
Yeah, here we go.
So M and H, I hope that's okay with you. How does he feel about your conversation? Let's see. And thank you for being here this whole time. I really appreciate it. Okay, so there is a lot of worry, a lot of concern, a lot of mental anguish. But here's the thing. I see this as processing. All right, we're processing the things that were said. We're gaining an understanding. And at the same time, we're also having to confront the things that you brought up. You brought up things that need to change. You brought up things that have to change. And the reasons for them are significant, are meaningful. They hold value. And he sees that. So I think that right now he's probably in a state of, you know, having to look at his own shadows and having to really address like the things that he doesn't want to say or doesn't want to see. And that's hard. That's really challenging. It's really challenging, especially if you've never done it before, especially if you haven't done it in a long time and you're like, oh my God, there's so many shadows. You know, it's a lot to kind of address and deal with. So even though that may be where he's at right now, this is still someone who, you know, will bounce back. Will bounce back. This is not, I don't feel this is a forever state, but this is just where we are right now. Just someone who doesn't fully know how to deal with everything that was said and wants to, and doesn't know how to fully embrace all the changes that need to be made. So I would suggest to you, to open up a flow of communication again of how can we find solutions? What solutions can we find to these problems? What solutions work for both of us? How can we compromise on these issues? What do you see about this situation? How do you feel about it? And what would you like to see in the future? What would you like to see moving forward? You can help yourself by opening the channels of communication in that type of way. In kind of allowing for both of you to discuss grievances or you know, problems in a open kind of state, allowing for there to be an equal give and take. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, my dear. I'm glad you're here with us. I appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, seriously.
And I hope that was helpful for you.
I know you've been here for a long time in the room, so and
we appreciate it.
That's a big thank you to everybody who's, you know, who stayed and had patience, because we try our best to get mostly to everybody as much as we can within reason, within what a PC will allow me to scroll backwards on. So, you know, we try our best to get everybody. Thank you for being patient. If we didn't get to you today, you know, please just keep coming back. You know, we want to answer your questions.
We want to answer your questions. We want to build a community, so make sure to come back, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and follow and notification and all that, so that you get notified for when we're going live, and so that we can keep helping build this community together.
We want to grab Spice. I love this name, Spicy Tea.
Spicy Tea. Love it. That's a great name. All right, Spicy Tea, throw it at me.
How does my crush Josh feel about me? I decided to push him away because he has another interest. And then, you know, if you get any implication from the cards when you're pulling, you know, if there's any what might happen between the two of them.
Okay. Alrighty.
Spicy Tea and Josh.
Spicy Tea and Josh. Well, thank you for being here, Spicy Tea. And thank you for being patient. Shoot. I am shuffling too hard. This is like my fourth one of these decks.
Shuffling with vigor.
Yes. With extreme and unnecessary vigor. Alright, Spicy Tea. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like... I mean, there's definitely thinking about you. There's definitely thinking about you. There's reminiscing. It's like nostalgia. It's like, you know, listening to 90s music and feeling that sense of nostalgia. I definitely think that he still cares. He still cares in one way or another. He's still interested. He still wants to know you. There isn't like a shift from this. This is feeling, you know, reminiscent of what was once was and now is not was. And that is saddening to some degree. So I do think there is still missing you. There is a possibility of more in the future. There's possibility of something more to come. Okay. I would say again, this all comes down to being open about how you feel. Be open about how you feel. Communicate it. If you want it, if it feels good, go towards it. And if this is someone that you want, and this is a relationship that you want, talk to him about it. I think that he's a good person, and I think that it's going to be easy for you to express yourself and kind of fix this weird, like, communication snafu gapperoonie that's happening.
Snafu gapperoonie, I love it.
In order to advance where you guys are at right now, because you both want more, but maybe there's just not a general agreement on that. So I would talk about it. I would figure out what it is that you want to say and find the right time and talk about it. Because he may be interested in this other person because he doesn't know fully, like, what you're interested in, like where your interests are coming from and what you want. So just kind of be aware of that. It's a good idea to, go towards this with open and honest and direct communication. Okay? That's going to get you closest to where you want to be. Thank you so much for being in the room, Spicy Tea. Love it.
And the last person we're going to take tonight is going to be from TikTok, and it's going to be Janisha from TikTok. She's been another person that I know has been patiently waiting.
Thank you, Janisha.
Has been watching the live on TikTok for a long time. So thank you again to everybody. We're going to be coming back on Monday. So
we'll announce the official schedule on Sunday for you guys in, like, the same platforms that you guys are in right now. We'll announce that so you'll know for the next week. Just because our schedule is a little bit weird right now, and we want to make sure that we give you guys a heads up. And we'll let you know. And we'll also be doing a newsletter. So I'll be announcing that soon, so you can give us your email, and we can let you know through email of what's coming up, and also, like, sales and spells and things like that are coming up.
Nisha wants to know, will I find love again?
Oh, of course you will. Of course you will. Of course, a horse.
Indeed,
a horse, of course. All right. I don't know about you, Janisha, worrying about all this, like, this business you'd be worrying about, and love's gonna come for you again. Goodness. It's coming. All right. Well, not yet. All right. We got some stuff we got to deal with first. And it looks like we've got to deal with some issues from our past relationships. We have past issues. We have blind spots. We have some things we need to pay attention to. And it could come down to, feelings of how you've felt in past relationships. Maybe you felt trapped or weighed down. Maybe you felt stuck. Or maybe you've been in a relationship that left you feeling this way. Left you feeling, tied down and bound to a specific way of thinking or feeling or acting or, a social norm that was not really normal. And because of that, there is still a need to break out, because it looks like some of these characteristics that are more negative were left over, okay? And you may be still dealing with some of these more negative characteristics that have left you feeling like crap, have drained you, have kind of stained you. They're staining you a little bit, and you may still feel that. So it's going to be really important for you to start taking more proactive steps towards your own self-development and self-healing, because whatever left you was hella negative, was really toxic.
She said OMG 100% on
absolutely.
Point. Yep.
It was not good for you in any way. And because of it, hun, like, those more negative ones, once we finally get away, we're not fully done yet. All right? They're not fully gone. If you were dealing with, like, a psychopath, I recommend the book Psychopath Free. And then the follow-up book to that is the second part is Whole Again. WHOLE. Whole Again. All right? So if you were dealing with some toxic energies, it really helps to understand exactly the type of toxicity that you're dealing with. And therefore, you can understand where you fit in and what your energy was like during that time versus their energy, which will give you a broader understanding of how you can separate the two, okay? Because you do have work to work through. Now, the beautiful thing is, as we were talking about this earlier, is when you are working on yourself, when you are deciding to turn towards you and care about you and do what's best for you, and you choose yourself, you know, not in a selfish way, but you choose yourself when you need to. When you start to do those things, you're going to find that the right person comes in. Okay, anytime we go chasing for this person, especially when we need to heal, we always find like total losers, totally like not the right energy, not the right stuff, okay? So don't go chasing for it. Every time we chase, we're running from ourselves. So make sure that you're not chasing, that you're going towards you, you're giving yourself the adequate amount of time of healing, and you're actively doing the work. And honestly, I'm so pissed at healthcare these days. Like, mental health doesn't matter to anyone, which really upsets me. And I don't know about you, but talk therapy never did much for me. So I'm finding that the most beneficial thing that I can do for myself to help my own development is to read self-help books, is to understand and to do different exercises on how to
taking time to like to work on yourself.
Yeah, taking that time.
Because I think that's the toughest thing that I think a lot of us struggle with, and something that I struggle with is it's always like, oh, I'm gonna you kind of like settle into this thing of, oh, it'll work itself out, or oh, it'll, I'll eventually figure that out, or oh, well, I can't go to therapy because of this, and this, so I'm just gonna, ignore it and keep on going on with my life. And the problem with that is, like, it ekes out in other ways. Things get weird. So one of the cool things that we've both been thinking about looking into more strongly is like workbooks. So like
leveling
because
up.
I think we need to. I think it's very fair to say that the majority of us out here who would like some help don't have access to it in one way or another. Either you have access to therapy and it's really difficult to get into, or you don't have the right insurance, or you don't connect with your therapist, or
all the therapists in your area don't take your insurance. How about that? They just want to get paid. Like, that's.
So I think it's if you can have access to that, do it. We're not knocking it at all. But I think it's a really good thing to know that, I think one of the best people that can help us is us. So we saw that there's some really cool workbooks. If you're kind of, a good idea for everyone would be do some general research, kind of like think about things that you're like, I suck at this area. I think this might be in relation to insert thing here. Like, this might be from childhood trauma, or this might be from some PTSD that I'm having. We live in a really cool time where you can just take that in, pull up some workbooks, and let's take ourselves back to school. Let's go emotional school. Let's get a summer packet. Remember summer packets from elementary school where you had to fill? Let's take a summer packet on ourselves. Let's invest a little bit of time, even if it's just like a little bit of time. Each day to be like, you know what, I'm going to look at myself, because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it for you. And
if you don't say, I'm proud of myself in the mirror, then no one else is going to do that for you either. It's about taking the time for self in whatever way is possible. And, communicating, conveying, expressing love for how far you've come and all that you are excited for in the future.
She said, we'll definitely take that and get to work through this. You ladies are amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Glad you're here. Thank you for being patient. I'm glad that you were, I hope that everybody, and especially you, because I know you've been hanging out for a long time, enjoyed our rantings and ramblings today about the things. And I've really enjoyed being here with you guys today.
Absolutely. We look forward to talking to you guys, and we'll announce who the winner of the 15-minute reading is on all platforms after this posts. So we thank you guys so much for being here, and thanks everybody for watching again. We appreciate you all so much. If you're looking for this and we weren't able to post it on TikTok, go over to Facebook, go over to YouTube at Tarot with Lyra Moon. And if you're looking for a private session, you can always book us on tarotwithlyramoon.com or on Facebook. We're really active on Facebook as well, because we're old school. Old school TikTok. You hear me?
We love you too.
We love you too,
It's-
but
it's-
there's a lot of things on this platform I don't understand. Buttons I don't quite get. I flip
Facebook-
one way and something happens. I'm old school. I know Facebook.
Facebook is like a nice calm walk in the park. TikTok is like going to like motocross.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're like, I don't get it.
Vroom, vroom, but here we go.
Thank you
right,
guys so
everybody.
much, and we'll announce our schedule officially on Sunday. And don't forget to check out our videos, all on platforms that are there.
Platforms that are social.
Social platforms.
All right. Bye, everybody. It was great to see you, and we'll see you on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday, unless we change the time. How do I?
Oh, you're on that, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. It's up there. Bye, guys.
And now, and where?